Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our second last day of reading. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Pashyatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So moving forward with our reading, I guess some of them need reminders due to a lot of changes in the timing, so I'll just text a few. Okay. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Amrita Nandini Mataji, you can start today. Shri Gaurangi Mataji said she'll be listening. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Can you see Amrita Nandini Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Text 80.
Text 80. So just want to let you know here, Parikshit Maharaj, many dialogues will come, like Parikshit Maharaj speaking to Uttara, then Jaimini Rishi speaking to Janamejaya, then they are all trying to conclude this experience that they shared. So in this, they will bring out verses from Bhagavatam, from various other scriptures, then Brahma Samhita, to conclude how Goloka is the highest and how Sri Krishna Bhagavan and Goloka is highest with his experiencing the rasas with the Golokvasis. They are the highest devotees of the Lord. So in these verses, whatever words, like even Brahma Loka, for example, when we hear that word, that refers to Vaikuntha and above. So they are meaning the supreme Brahman's Loka. So we should not confuse that with the Brahma Loka, that where Lord Brahma resides. This is, they are talking Vaikuntha and above. So just a little clarification that will help us understand, because they are talking purely about Goloka. So their comparison is only with Vaikuntha, that's close. Now they are not more concerned about lower planetary systems. Yes, Amrita Nandini Mataji, please go ahead.
Above heaven is Brahma Loka. It is served by many Brahma Rishis. It is the goal of Lord Shiva and his wife Uma, and of great luminous souls who are liberated in the Supreme.
Gayatri Mataji, are you there today?
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Yeah, go ahead.
Above Brahmaloka is the planet of the cows, which is protected by the sadhyas. O Krishna, that great planet is infinitely expansive, pervading the unlimited spiritual sky.
Leela Madhavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The planet is above all others, and there you are to be achieved by intense concentration of the heart. None of us can understand the world, though we have inquired about it from our grandfather. Commentary.
So, yeah, sorry, Mataji. Grandfather here is Lord Brahma. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Since Vaikuntha is unlimited, nothing can be beyond it in ordinary time and space. Yet there is a transcendental sense in which Goloka, the planet of the cows, lies above Vaikuntha, just as Sri Shivaloka, due to its comparative excellences, is ecstatic sentiments they have for him.
Is considered above the infinite.
Oh, sorry, Mati. Sorry, I'm reading in the iPhone, so just is considered above the infinite abode of liberation. And just as Vaikuntha is understood to be above the boundless Shivaloka, so Sri Goloka is above Vaikuntha. To assert that Goloka lies beyond even Vaikuntha is valid because only on Goloka do the pastime energies of the personality of Godhead display reality in its most perfect state. Goloka is presided over by the sadhyas, meaning those who were worshipped by great saints. These sadhyas are Krishna's dearmost devotees, Sri Nanda and others, whom Brahma, Sanaka, Shiva, and Narada tried to emulate by all the means of spiritual discipline at their command. Another way to understand the word sadhya, as derived from the verb meaning to accomplish, is that all the cowherd men and women of Goloka managed to bring Krishna under their control by the unique ecstatic sentiments they have for him. Or else, these sadhyas are the gopis, headed by Sri Radha, Krishna's dearest devotees and therefore the most important residents of Goloka, where perpetually manage to maintain the glories of that abode by their wonderful pastimes with Krishna.
Okay. So the explanation is all about the Goloka that we are hearing. Priya Madhvi Mataji, I think she's not logged in. So Anita Mataji, please go ahead.
Swarga is the goal achieved by such pious practices as control of the mind and senses, and Brahmalok is the highest destination achieved by those who engage in intense spiritual discipline.
Sashikala Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Also, thus,
But
O
to
son of...
rise,
Oh,
yeah, but to rise to Goloka. 84.
oh, okay. 84, Mataji?
84.
Okay. Oh, yes, Mataji, sorry. But to rise to Goloka, the planet of the cows, is most difficult. That world was under attack. But you, O Krishna, competent, steadfast, and wise, saved it by putting an end to all outrages against the cows. Commentary. Here, the name Goloka is explained. Goloka is the residence mostly of cows and their herders. Hardly anyone can gain the privilege to go there. Svargaloka and the higher planets of the sages are comparatively easy to enter, being open to pious, fruitive workers who can keep their minds and senses under control. Karmis with less self-control can still reach the lower heavenly regions known as Bilasvarga and Bhaumasvarga. In contrast, the world of the Supreme Vaikunta is attained only by those who perfect the Vaishnava discipline of concentrating the mind on the personality of Godhead, who always engage in spiritual activity and who have pure love of God. Yet, compared to either the higher planets of the material world or the spiritual planets of Vaikunta, Goloka is in all ways superior. It is the supreme destination from which one never returns.
Yeah, that paragraph is not much needed. We could go to this one, Mataji, reciting these prayers to Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. Reciting these prayers to Krishna, Indra confesses that he tried to disturb the peace of Krishna's abode. Of course, Goloka is eternal and always fully blissful, and everyone allowed to go there is immune from all troubles. But Indra, not completely aware of the glories of Goloka, wrongly thinks he created a disturbance there. Describing his offenses from his own limited point of view, he imagines that by attacking Gokula on earth, he also created anxiety in Goloka, the topmost spiritual kingdom.
So these conversations, now this was from Indra to Krishna when he did that Govardhan Leela pastime problem. So all these are verses from Bhagavatam that is being recited. Vasantara Samataji.
Hare Krishna. Also, the son of Kunti, in many different forms, do I move about here on earth or Brahmaloka and in the eternal Goloka? Commentary. This verse is from a conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjuna found in the Skanda Purana. Before making this statement, Krishna spoke about several of his incarnations, including Lord Jagannatha in Purushottama Kshetra.
Who is there next? Sirisha Mataji. Sirisha Mataji, your turn.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Sri Janmejaya said to the sage Jaimini, O foremost of Vaishnavas, I heard these same verses from Vaishampayana and I derived some understanding from them.
So now we have to recollect how after Parikshit passed away, Janamejaya became the king and he wanted to kill all the snakes because the Takshaka, he got so mad. But then the snake sacrifice was stopped, and how Vaishampayana, who is the disciple of Vyasdev, came and he was narrating the Mahabharata to him so that he can understand how this whole thing happened and how the snake bite and all that came. So all the grandfather story Mahabharata he was saying. And then his disciple Jaimini also recites this part of the ending to Sri Janamejaya. Then Janamejaya, after finishing the Mahabharata, he's not feeling completely happy. And then he asks what else happened. And Jaimini recites the discussion between Uttara and Parikshit, the grandmother and the sons. What talks to Janamejaya. So now talk within the talk. So yes, who was next? Neeta Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. But now by hearing these verses from you, my heart shines with fresh insight. Oh, just see the most amazing glories of the Supreme Lord's devotees.
So this is Janamejaya saying, yes. Payal Mataji, are you there? If not, Richa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Fearing that this narration is about to end, my heart burns with sadness. Please dispense some medicinal tonic by which my heart may again be fully satisfied.
Yeah, so this is Janamejaya asking. He wants some solace. Neeru Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sri Janani said, My dear child, in the joy of having spoken about the glories of Golo, your father recited several verses that complement these two wonderful histories. Those charming verses express various sweet ecstasies and bear the essential purport of all the Shrutis and Smritis. By chanting them, I am able to dispel the sorrows I feel in the absence of your respected father, and thus I travel happily in this world. Now I shall recite those verses to you. Commentary. Jananjaya's request reminds Jaimini that Parikshit Maharaj, after finishing the history of Gopkumara, recited a few verses of Sri Brahma Samhita that glorify Golok and spoke several verses of Srimad Bhagavatam's 10th canto that extol Mathura Vrajbhumi and its residents. The verses of the 10th canto highlight various special ecstasies of Vraj Bhakti that will be discussed in the commentaries.
So after Parikshit Maharaj finished his explanation to Mother Uttara to pacify her further, he recited verses from our Brahma Samhita. So Amritanandini Mataji, do you want to recite this Brahma Samhita verse also before reciting? Only 4 verses, just this one, yeah. If it's difficult, then I can do it. This Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita Tabhiryayeva Nijarupataya Kalaki.
Golok eva निवसत् अखिलत्मभूतो गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Jai. So yes, here comes it. Go ahead. Oh, I had to read, right? Sorry. I pushed you in further. That's how you got diverted. So next one you could read again. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. He resides in everyone's heart as the super soul and simultaneously in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and embodies the ecstatic potency, Hladini. Their companions are her confident extensions of her bodily form, who are permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. Commentary. Text 92 through 95 come from the fifth chapter of Sri Brahma Samhita, in which Lord Brahma sings the glories of Adi Purusha, the original personality of Godhead Sri Govinda. Here in the 37th verse of that chapter, Lord Brahma reveals the super excellence shown by Govinda and his associates and paraphernalia in the supreme abode Goloka. So you can read this one too, Mataji. Amritanandini Mataji. Goloka.
गोलोकनाम्नि जधाम्नि तले च तस्य देवी महेशहरिधामसु तेषु तेषु ते ते प्रभावनि निवसत् विहिता सचयेन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Jai. Here is the commentary. Yeah.
Lowest of all is the Madani world, Devi Dham. Next above it is the abode of Mahesh Dham. Above Mahesh Dham is the abode of Hari Dham. And above them all is Krishna's own realm, named Goloka. I adorn the primeval Lord Govinda, who has allotted to the rulers of those graded realms their respective authorities. Commentary. This is verse 43 of the same chapter of Sri Brahma Samhita. Below the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead expand countless worlds, presided over by Lord Narayan, Lord Shiva, and the goddess Devi. See, Narayan rules over the Vaikuntha planets and the replicas of Vaikuntha within the material realm, such as Mahakalpura, the abode of liberation. Devi rules the entire material universe. She is the presiding deity of the unmanifested material nature, the eighth layer of the shell that encloses the universe. The infinite variety of wonders displayed in all these worlds is produced by the personal power of Govinda. Thus, his energy is not different from him because they proceed from him, are the source of endless varieties. Govinda's expansion, like Narayan, Shiva, and Devi, are wonderful, and the worlds those expansions create are wonderful. Certainly, then the original world of Govinda is the most wonderful.
Jai. Gayatri Mataji, will you be able to also read this? Shriya Kanta Kanta Paramapurusha.
I'll try, Mataji.
Yes.
Shriya Kanta Kanta Paramapurusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumischinta Mani Ganamayi Toyam Amritam Kata Ganam Natyam Gamanam Api Vamshi Priyasati Chidanandam Jyoti Parama Api Tad Aswadyam Api Cha Sayatra Kshirabdi Sarati Surabhibayascha Sumaham.
Nice.
Yeah. Keep going.
Nimeshardakhyo va vrajati nahi yatrapi samaya bhajeshvetadvipam tamaham iha goloka itiyam vidantaste santah kshitivira lachara katipaye iti.
Brahma Samhita ki Jai. Yes.
I worship the transcendental realm known as Shvetadvipa, whereas loving consorts, the Lakshmis, in their unalloyed spiritual essence, practice the amorous service of the Supreme Lord Krishna, their only lover, where every tree fulfills all desires, where the soil is made of purpose gems, and the water is nectar, and every word a song, every step a dance, and the flute is the favorite attendant. Effulgence in that realm is full of transcendental bliss, and the supreme spiritual entities are all to be tasted and enjoyed. There, numberless cows always give transcendental oceans of milk and transcendental time ever present, without past or future, eternally exists, not subject to passing away even for the space of half a moment. That realm is known as Goloka, only to a very few self realized souls in this world.
Jai. So again, Shweta Dvipa, we don't have to confuse. In his ecstasy, Brahma sees that as Shweta Dvipa, like because he's seeing the cows and the milk flowing, so he's using the term Shweta Dvipa. But there is another Shweta Dvipa where Lord Vishnu resides. So this is purely Goloka that's being getting described. So yes, Leela Mataji.
Furthermore, how pious are the tracts of land in Vraja, for there the primeval personality of Godhead, disguising himself with human traits, wanders about, enacting his many pastimes, adorned with wonderfully variegated forest garlands. Lord Krishna, whose feet are worshipped by Lord Shiva and the goddess Rama, vibrates his flute as he tends the cows in the company of Balrama.
Anita Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. O Almighty Lord, how greatly fortunate are the cows and ladies of Vrindavan. Taking the form of their calves and children, you have happily drunk to your full satisfaction the nectar of their breast milk. All the Vedic sacrifices performed from time immemorial up to the present day have not given you as much satisfaction.
Krishna is fully satisfied being in Goloka Dham. And these are the prayers that he recites after the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Seeing himself the glories of how the Lord enacted these pastimes.
How greatly fortunate are Nanda Maharaja, the cowherd men, and all the other inhabitants of Vrajabhumi. There is no limit to their good fortune because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, the eternal supreme Brahman, has become their friend.
Yes, Vasandra Samataji.
Yet, even though the extent of the good fortune of these residents of Vrindavana is inconceivable, we 11 presiding deities of the various senses, headed by Lord Shiva, are also most fortunate because the senses of the devotees of Vrindavana are the cups through which we repeatedly drink the nectarian, intoxicating beverage of the honey of your lotus feet. Commentary. In the material world, Lord Shiva is the deity who presides over every individual's ego, and Chandra and 9 other demigods presides over everyone's mind and other senses. These 11 demigods are very fortunate because they perceive through the ego, intelligence, mind, eyes, ears, skin, tongue, nose, speech, hands, and feet of every Vrajavasi, the nectar coming from Krishna's lotus feet. These demigods witness how the Vrajavasis use their egos to identify themselves servants of Krishna, their intelligence to make up their minds to act always for his satisfaction, their eyes to see him, their tongues to chant, and their ears to hear his glories.
Oh, wonderful. Even Brahma is feeling so happy. Like, even through the senses of Rajavasis, we are able to taste you. So he's feeling so satisfied being able to serve the Rajavasis that way. Jai. Yes, Sirisha Mataji.
My greatest possible good fortune would be to take any birth, whatever, in this forest of Gokula and have my head bathed by the
dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda, the dust of whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantra.
Searched in the Vedic mantras. So nice. So these are the prayers of Lord Brahma. He just wants to serve in somehow in Gokula. Yes, Neeta Mataji.
My mind becomes bewildered just trying to think of what reward other than you could be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all benedictions which you bestow upon these residents of the cowherd community of Vrindavana. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putana and her family members in exchange for her discretion, this Keshing herself as a devotee. So, what is left for you to give these devotees of Vrindavana, whose homes, wealth, friends, dear relations, bodies, children, and very lives and hearts are all dedicated only to you?
This is so sweet. Brahmaji is like, you have given yourself even to that Putana who has come to kill you. Then what is left for those who are loving you? What will you give them now? So this is where Brahma establishes that Krishna is always indebted to the love of the Brajavasis, because he has nothing to give them, because even to Putana and all the demons he has given himself. So what to speak. So they have purchased him, and he is standing there with empty hands, unable to repay the love of Rajvasis. That is the position of Krishna in the Golok Dham. He's forever indebted. Yes, Richa Mataji.
My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desires remain plunderers. Their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles.
So here Brahma is saying about those sannyasis who have renounced even the family life and all the attachment to material riches. For them also how merciful Krishna is, then how much more he should be for those Vrajvasis who have given up everything. So he's just comparing the Vrajvasis levels to all the kind of renunciates that we see in this world. Neeru Mataji.
My dear master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees.
Jai. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As for me, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. These are words from Brahmaji, our great grandfather. Yes, Amrutanandini Mataji, please go ahead.
My dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to you. Actually, you are the knower and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universe, and yet I offer this one universe unto you.
So here Brahmaji is feeling very humble, and he's saying, I don't deserve myself to stay in this Gokula because this is a very special place. And all that I have is that one universe that I rule. I please offer that as at your lotus feet, and let me go back and do my work till I wait for your mercy on me. Yeah.
My dear Sri Krishna, you bestow happiness upon the lotus-like Vrishni dynasty and expand the great oceans consisting of the earth, the demigods, the brahmanas, and the cows. You dispel the dense darkness of irreligion and oppose the demons who have appeared on this earth. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, as long as this universe exists and as long as the sun shines, I will offer my obeisances unto you.
So these are prayers of Brahmaji. Yes, Leelamati.
This earth has now become most fortunate because you have touched her grass and bushes with your feet and her trees and creepers with your fingernails, and because you have graced her rivers, mountains, birds, and animals with your merciful glances. But above all, you have embraced the young cowherd woman between your two arms, a favor anchored after by the goddess of fortune herself.
So much glories about the Dham in this planet Earth.
O friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki. The peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute, and upon seeing them from the hilltops, other creatures also become stunned. Simply mentioning the gopis' special love for Krishna has put Parikshit Maharaj in their mood. Thus, he is inspired to recite some of the prayers the gopis sang in praise of the great personalities of Braj, beginning with the Vrindavan forest itself.
So now moving forward, now Brahma's prayers he completed, Govindamadi Purusham, the Govinda prayers he completed. So now Parikshit Maharaj is pulled towards the Gopi Geet and how they are seeing the Vrindavan and the Vrindavan Vasis, how they are relishing them. Sashikala.
Yes, Mataji. Of all the devotees, this Govardhana hill is the best. O my friends, for Krishna and Balarama, along with their cows, and cowherd friends, this hill supplies all necessities: caves, fruits, flowers, edible roots, water for drinking, and very soft grass. In this way, the hill offers respects to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balarama, Govardhana hill appears very jubilant.
So again here now, these are the verses the gopis are glorifying Govardhan Hill. And maybe this last paragraph, if you could read, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Because we gopis cannot do what Govardhana does, the speaker of this verse seems to say we are condemned. Thus, even though the gopis are full in all virtues, they consider themselves inadequate. Such is the natural dissatisfaction of persons on the highest levels of pure love of God.
So gopis are always feeling that what their love is for Krishna is very less compared to everybody else in the dham. So they're seeing Govardhan and feeling like he's doing more than what we could do. Yes, Vasantra Samataji.
In the company of Balarama and the cowherd boys, Lord Krishna is continually vibrating his flute as he herds all the animals of Vraja. Even under the full heat of the summer sun, seeing this, the cloud in the sky has expanded himself out of love. He is rising high and constructing from his own body with its multitude of flower-like droplets of water, an umbrella for the sake of his friends. Commentary. Maharaj Parikshit has glorified Vrajabhumi in a general way by praising its principal attractions, the Vrindavana forest and Govardhana hill. Now in 41 verse, beginning with this one, Bhagavatam 10th canto, 21st chapter, 16th verse. He will continue to glorify Vrajabhumi by praising various forms of life in Vraja, one after another. In order to increasing importance, he selects those living beings that receive Krishna special mercy, each in its own way. We can understand that King Parikshit, while reciting each of these verses, felt something of the individual ecstatic moods of the devotees he was describing.
So now he will start, he has gone into every part, even the cloud, the rain, the river, the bees. He starts going into more detail of those people. So, yes, Mataji. Sirisha Mataji. Sirisha Mataji, your turn.
When the rivers hear the flute song of Krishna, their minds begin to desire him, and thus the flow of their current breaks, and their agitated waters move around in whirlpools. Then, with the arms of their waves, the rivers embrace Murari's lotus feet and, holding onto them, present offerings of lotus flowers. Commentary. The rivers in Vraja receive even greater mercy than the clouds. To external eyes, the rivers of Vraja may seem unconscious, but they are not ordinary bodies of water. Thus, another Gopi sings this verse, Bhagavatam 10.21.15, in praise of all those rivers headed by Sri Yamuna and Manasi Ganga.
So now they're praising the rivers. Neeta Mataji.
The trees and creepers in the forest respond to the sound by becoming so luxuriant with fruits and flowers that they seem to be manifesting Lord Vishnu within their hearts. As their branches bend low with the weight, the filaments on their trunks and vines stand erect in the ecstasy of love of God. And both the trees and the creepers pour down a rain of sweet sap. Commentary. Greater than the clouds and rivers are the forest plants who are sentient beings. Another of the gopis recites this verse. Bhagavatam 10.35.9 in praise of the trees, creepers of Vrindavana who have the great fortunate to associate with Krishna during the day. The gopis, by singing these verses to remind themselves of how Krishna is enjoying in the forest, achieve some solace from the pain of being separate from him.
So, yeah. So clouds, rivers, now the plants. So who comes next? Richa Mataji.
O original personality, these bees must all be great sages and most elevated devotees of yours, for they are worshipping you by following you along the path and chanting glories, which are themselves a holy place for the entire world. Though you have though you have disguised yourself within the forest, O sinless one, they refuse to abandon you, their worshipable Lord. Commentary. Better than the non-moving creatures are those who can move. Beginning with the insects, bugs, and worms, Parikshit Maharaj now recounts Lord Krishna's praise of the bees who follow his brother Balram wherever he goes. Bhagavatam 10.15.6.
Right. So now we came to the bees from the plants. The charming, oh, Neeru Mataji. Yes. Neeru Mataji. Neeru Mataji, are you there? Hare Krishna, Neeru Mataji, your turn.
Yes, Mataji, sorry, my network was little. The charming flute song steals away the mind of the cranes, swans, and other lake dwelling birds. Indeed, they approach Krishna, close their eyes, and maintaining strict silence, worship him by fixing their consciousness upon him in deep meditation. Commentary. This is another verse sung by the gopis who were trying to console one another during the daytime when Krishna was absent, and the birds of Vraja are superior to the bugs and insects, but even among the birds there are different levels of Krishna consciousness. The waterfall. Antaji, this is waterfall or flow?
Yeah, waterfalls, a
Okay.
bird's name.
Okay, the waterfall are a little less fortunate than the others because they have less opportunity to be close to Krishna.
Because they are always in the water, like some other birds and animals can go close to Krishna, but these are in the water body. So they are stuck to the water place only. They can go into the forest to be close to Krishna. That's what it's mentioned. O mother, in this forest all the birds have risen onto the beautiful branches of the trees to see Krishna. With closed eyes, they are simply listening in silence to the sweet vibrations of his flute, and they are not attracted by any other sound. Surely these birds are on the same level as great sages. Another gopi, enchanted by hearing Krishna's flute, sings this verse to Mother Yashoda or else to a girlfriend. Here, even more fortunate birds are glorified, those who live in the same trees that provide shade for Krishna as he wanders about the Vrindavan forest. So that's how every level we are going, from clouds to rivers to plants to bees to birds in the water to birds that are outside. Yes, Amritana.
Blessed are all these foolish deer because they have approached Maharaj Nanda's gorgeously dressed son. After hearing him play on his flute, indeed both the dew and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. Commentary. In this verse, Bhagavatam 10.21, another gopi glorifies the deer being similar in species to the cows and the creatures tended by personality of Godhead are able to accompany them while grazing.
So here the deer is very highly qualified in a sense. They are being praised by the gopis because when they come, they don't come alone. They bring along their husbands, both the she and the male and the female deers. They come together, deer and the doe, and they don't have any arti paraphernalia. They just with their loving long glances when they look at Krishna, Krishna feels very satisfied. So they're saying how fortunate just with their glance they are able to satisfy Krishna, and they are openly with their husbands. They can come and relish and feel the presence of the Lord, but we have to hide and come. So the gopis are envious of the deer.
Using their upraised ears as vessels, the cows are drinking the nectar of the flute song flowing out of Krishna's mouth. The calves, their mouth full of milk from their mother's moist nipples, stand still as they take Govinda within themselves through their tear filled eyes and embrace him within their hearts. Commentary. By far superior to the deer of the Vrindavana forest are the cows personally tended by Sri Gopala Deva. In this verse, other gopis glorify Krishna's cows.
Yes, so now we have come to cows. Just 2, 3 more verses. Yeah.
When Krishna vibrates his flute, Vraja's bulls, deer, and cows, standing in groups at a great distance, are all captivated by the sound, and they stop chewing the food in their mouths and cock their ears. Stunned, they appear as if asleep, or or like figures in a painting. This verse describes the rare good fortune shared by the cows and the bulls and the other animals that were with them. Dear friends, please now hear something wonderful. When the bulls, deer, and cows hear Krishna's flute, they feel the urge to approach him. They all come from far away and stand nearby him, fully enchanted. They forget about the grass in their mouths, and it either stays there unchewed or else falls from their mouths to the ground. Their ears standing upright, the animals remain still as if
This paragraph.
asleep, or if not living beings but painted images. Thus, these animals, bewildered by prema, lose their powers of thought and activity.
Wow.
Aborigine women of the
Aborigine women. Yeah.
the women of the Vrindavan area become disturbed by lust when they see the grass marked with reddish kumkum powder, endued with the color of Krishna's lotus feet. This powder originally decorated the breast of his beloved, and when the aborigine women smear it on their faces and breasts, they feel fully satisfied and give up all their anxiety. The human beings in Vraj, of course, are more exalted than the lower forms of life. In this verse, Bhagavatam 10.21.17, one Gopi first glorifies the outcast women who dwell in the forest. The Pulindas are an aborigine tribe living in Braj. They are also known as Sabras. Referring to them all also implies other tribes of Braj, including the Bhil tribes. The lower class Pulinda women felt fully satisfied, Purna, when they smeared themselves with the effulgently red kumkum that came from the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Urugya, who plays his flute Gayati in many wonderful ways, Urudha.
Yeah, so next level is those aborigine Shabara women.
Yes, Mataji.
Sashikala.
Yes, Mataji. Sometimes Krishna would go to a somewhat distant place to see the beauty of the forest. Then all the other boys would run to accompany him, each one saying, I shall be the first to run and touch Krishna. I shall touch Krishna first. In this way, they enjoyed life by repeatedly touching Krishna. The cowherd boys who constantly accompany Krishna are certainly superior to the aborigine forest women. Parikshit Maharaja now recites 6 verses to praise those cowherd boys or Gopakumaras. The first 3 verses are spoken by Shukadeva Goswami in the 10th canto, chapter 12, texts 6, 11, and 12. They describe how those boys joined Krishna in tending the cows.
Thank you so much. We finished our 40 verses for today. We will stop with the Gopas, and with the Gopis, we'll finish tomorrow. This is a beautiful meditation. So this is finally giving us the final meditation of when we think of Goloka, we can think of the clouds, how wonderful they are, the rivers, how ecstatic they are, and the forest plants, how blessed they are, then the bees, then the birds, then the deer and the doe, and then the cows, the bulls, the animals, then these Shabara women, then the Gopas, and then moving further to the Gopis tomorrow. Yeah. So this is kind of conclusion to bring our meditation to the Golok Dham and the Golok Vasis. Any realizations or sharings, Matajis? I hope you all are happy reading and hearing about.
Yes, Mataji. Any living thing and non-living thing also very happy in Golok Vrindavan. That's what it's really good, Mataji.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry. Whatever form, whatever Krishna wants us to be, we're going to be happy. That's the final thing. Giving him happiness. Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
And Brahma feels so unqualified even to think of himself as a grass or a creeper. He says, I'll go back whenever I am already satisfied just getting your darshan and to get to know these people and the Golok Dham. Whenever the mercy falls on me, I'm ready at your service. So thank you all so much. If no other realizations, everybody is quiet. So one more day tomorrow. And then Friday we have our Moksha Ekadashi Bhagavad Gita recitation. So we will, every day is a festival. So there is no end to our Krishna consciousness. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnavi Vranda ki jai.
Jai.
Gopad ki jai. Nitai Gaur.
Hare
Hare Krishna.